I've got big breaking news that just came across, and it has to do with voting for Crypto Week. That's right, they don't just want to talk about it. It appears they want to vote on it. We're going to talk CPI data, XRP price, along with the rest of the crypto market action. And
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
yeah, you heard me correctly. We might actually get some voting happening this week with those crypto bills. CPI data, yeah, we'll talk about it. What does it mean with Jerome Powell and the Fed and our favorites out there like XRP? Yeah, we'll get into it. Now, before we get into the news, though, you know the deal. You, the viewer, matter most. That's why, what, everyone? I share your comments at the beginning of the video. Fetsy says, listen and hung out for a while. Best crypto news, choo choo. That's right, we had a live stream this morning, and again, it was lit AF. A short one because we were just going over CPI data, and I've got to pick my wife up from the airport, and also, as those of you watching saw, my dogs were bugging the hell out of me. Thanks, Vader, you butthole. Let's get back into it. Alan McMaster's hanging out, says, hell yeah. Thanks for the video, brother. Hope you enjoyed your night. Happy to have my 2 days off. Don't worry, I'm not going to be taking any days off. Even while I travel, I'll be bringing you the news while leaving Los Estados Unidos. Dylan Crypto and channel member, thank you very much for supporting. Thank you all the channel members out there for the support. And thank you, Krishna, this morning in the chat, who gifted 5 channel memberships. That's why these live streams are so freaking awesome. It says, I'm expecting a pretty big drop here next week. Massive sell-off. Maybe catch XRP at 220 again. Okay, look. If crypto is going to sell off, it's going to sell off on the fact that they're having trouble getting the votes, okay? That's what we're looking at, because right now, we had CPI data. Okay, let's start with CPI data, and then we're going to talk about voting, and then we'll do a price action. All right, CPI data came in right here. Came in hot at 2.7. Expectations were right around 2.5, 2.6. So it came in hotter than expected, and you can see an uptrend, right? Here's the April. We went up in May. We went up in June. This is big because remember, what does Jerome Powell say all the time? I need to see what the data says in order to decide if we're going to be lowering rates. And what he told everyone was, look, tariffs are going to cause a short-term increase in inflation. Well, here you go. We got a little pumperoni in inflation. Not the good pumperoni, by the way. This is a bad pumperoni. We got an increase of inflation. So now what does that say for us? It tells us that Jerome is going to pause. There's an FOMC meeting on the 30th of July with Jerome Powell and the Fed. 97.4% chance that they're going to pause, which opens the door for what? September being the first rate cut. That's September 17th. With what? A 62% chance of rate cuts in September. CPI data came in at 2.7 over the last 12 months and rose 0.3% seasonally adjusted. What were some of the big nastinesses in regards to it? Shelter rose 0.2%, and the energy index rose 0.9%. That's not good at all. Food increased 0.3%, and the food from home increased at 0.3% as well, 0.4%. So you've got a lot of things out there affecting the consumer going up. That's not good because it hurts the retail movement, right, when it comes to crypto. We saw that over this last weekend. This last weekend was what? The retail movement. So we talked about CPI data. It's hot. It's on its way up. Jerome will not, I repeat, will not be cutting rates this month. No, there's not going to be an emergency meeting with the Fed regarding rate cuts. That's just bad hopium influencers out there trying to screw you over. Now, while we were streaming, Eleanor Tourette dropped some big news, and it has to do with the votes this week. Yeah, so we're not only debating, apparently we're going to be voting. Are you ready for it? All right, Eleanor, her information and everything you see in this video is linked down below. She says, new. According to the voting schedule sent out by Majority Leader Stephen Scalise last night, the House will hold a procedural vote this afternoon to establish the terms of floor debate for the Genius Clarity and anti-CBDC bills after they've cleared the Rules Committee yesterday. Final passage votes are likely to follow tomorrow or Thursday. This is huge, everyone. This is super huge because, look, they're going to debate this stuff today. They're going to kind of hash out all the things that they're upset with. And then we could be getting a vote as early as Wednesday or Thursday regarding the Genius Act, which is stablecoin, Clarity Act, which is regs for the entire crypto market, and the Anti-CBDC Surveillance Act. Yeah. So, realistically speaking, we think we're going to be able to get the Genius Act through, the one with stablecoins through. The Clarity Act is going to be a tough one. The Anti-CBDC Surveillance Act is going to be another tough one as well. Also, more news from Eleanor. She's bringing us the hot, spicy stuff. Says new, crypto's biggest super PAC, Fairshake, remember the one that got us all those crypto votes, and its affiliates are gearing up for the midterms and now report 141 million cash on hand. They've gotten 25 million from Coinbase, 52 million raised in the first half of 2025, and 109 million raised since election day. This is big. Why? Because this is what gets you your pro-crypto votes. This is important. So what happens is Democrats and Republicans are going to be like, oh, so there's a lot of money out there if we vote pro-crypto. Yes, there is. And I'm going to be sharing this news with you, yes, everyone, tomorrow and Thursday as it happens. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out. Volume for the crypto market is still healthy AF. $246 billion. That's right, $250 billion right now in volume. So exchanges are making a lot of money. Altcoin season index, that's right, 32 out of 100. So BTC is moving, but the alts are moving as well. ETF inflows, we still got them, baby. Now let's talk XRP price. All right, big deal. The $3 mark. We get some votes passing this week. We can easily break 3 and make 3 the floor. If we stumble, though, and we realize, oh, we don't have the votes, or, oh, we're not going to be able to pass this through cleanly, you could see pressure to the downside, right? This whole move that we've seen here as of late has been the move that regs will happen. So if regs don't happen, yep, exactly, price goes down. But if regs do happen, I have a feeling that we can keep moving on the way up. Why? Because the votes and the regs will allow for more money to flow into crypto. We'll also get some clarity in regards to what they're doing tax-wise. And think, you still got ETFs and rate cuts coming for the rest of this year. So, if you get the regs passing to set that up, oh baby, it's going to be juicy. Now, that being said, they're going to be debating this action heavily today, all right? Then they're going to let us know when they're going to be able to vote on it. I'm going to keep y'all informed because this is a fluid situation. Like I said, this just was released as we were live streaming this morning. So for those of you that were watching the stream, you caught the news early. XRP fans, what are we looking for? More of the same. Honestly, we need these bills to pass in order to get crypto moving forward. If they don't pass, you bet your butt we're going to go in the red. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about the green shirt that I'm wearing, the green on the screen, and crypto being green overall on the optimism that we're going to get regs passed. House, don't let us down. And for real, that's why you hit the notification bell, because this is a very fluid and fast-moving situation. And the best part about this is the market looked at CPI data and was like, we really don't care. Why? Because regs right now are stronger than CPI data. Why? Because we already know Jerome is going to pause. So this expectation of Jerome pausing has been there. The expectation, though, of crypto passing, that's the juiciness that we're all paying attention to right now. They're going to be debating today and hopefully voting Wednesday or Thursday. Now, what does this set us up for? Well, like I said, if we can pass the Genius Act, which I think a lot of us are expecting that it's going to pass, priced into the market, right? Because we pretty much think, we think we get this through. It's the Clarity Act that everyone is paying attention to right now. I'm going to be focusing heavily on the Clarity Act, heavily on the debates, and seeing where we go from there. Why? Because that's what's going to give us the regs for the rest of the crypto market. Why are companies not feeling comfortable about buying altcoins for their strategic reserves? Because there's no regs to protect them yet. We just have executive orders, and we know as well as the next that, guess what? The next president that comes in could be anti-crypto, which means what? They could write executive orders that undo the current ones. That's why regs are important. Regs are more set in stone than anything out there. So, clarity, big deal. Genius bill, it'll probably pass, but I'll keep an eye out, let y'all know what happens. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss out. XRP price, still hot. I get that we're not at the $3 yet, but guess what, everyone? This is all about regs this week, and the price is going to follow the news of regs. So if you want to know if XRP is going to be mooning, just follow the regs talk, baby. Follow the votes. Choo-choo what? Choo-choo bitches.